Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the day I received the news that my sister had been shot. It was the worst news I ever received in my life. Um, I just want to tell you a little bit about my sister first. She had just turned 15, February 15th. 13 days before she had died. She was sweet. She was innocent. Um, she never got into any trouble. She always liked to make friends. She was the best sister that anybody could ask for. Um, my little brother was her mini-me. Everywhere you saw him, you saw her. Everywhere you saw her, you saw him. He was her little, I guess you could say, protector. Like, he always wanted to be around to protect her from anything. Um, it was February 28th, which was my father's birthday as well. I received a phone call um, that my sister was in this area. I was like, the phone call was like, Quamitra's is over here. I was like, okay, I'll call her back. So at the time when the person called, I was watching a video, getting prepared to get on the bus for my basketball game. I watched the video. I waited a few minutes. I got on the bus. When I get on the bus, I was like, okay, well, let me call him back. My sister over here, she's not supposed to be over here, so let me call her back. So when I called back, my brother answered the phone. He was like, Sparkle Quamichas has been shot. And I'm like, man, stop playing. I said stop playing because I was so used to us calling each other like one of us had been in a fight and got beaten up, or one of us had broken our arm or something, just something crazy like that. So I was just so used to us calling, playing jokes on each other. So I didn't believe him. But when he said, I'm not having playing, she has been shot. She was shot in her stomach. I was like, oh, he's for real now. I'm like, what do you mean she been shot? So I hang up with him and I was just crying on the bus and didn't know what to do. Couldn't turn around. Couldn't go home and be with her. The bus wasn't going to stop for me because we was going to a basketball game. But I received another phone call, which was from Carmicha's mother. She was like, Sparkle, where are you? You supposed to be there. You wasn't there. How could you let this happen? And, she's not supposed to be there without you. And just blaming me, yelling at me, fussing with me. So I didn't get a chance to say nothing. I hung up. I felt like everything was my fault because I knew she wasn't supposed to be over there. I took too long to call back or, you know, everything. So I'm on the bus, still headed towards my game. I was just receiving all these phone calls, didn't answer. I get to my game, I play, we win, we all celebrating, talking about what we was gonna do after the game and where we was gonna go to celebrate. And me, I'm like, I wish I could go with y'all, but I'm gonna go to the hospital and be with my sister. So after that, we all get dressed, going to get something to eat in the lobby after our basketball game. I was with one of my friends, and he had received the phone call, and the phone call was just like, do you know what Sparkle is? And he was like, yeah, she's right here. And they had told him that I needed to get home as soon as possible. He was like, why she need to come home as soon as possible? They was like, she's dead. And I'm like, he's like, what you mean she dead? They was like, she died. So he hangs up the phone, he tells me like, Sparkle, you need to go home now. And I'm like, why? He like, cause she died. You know, I could see that he really didn't want to tell me, but he told me, and according to my friends that was around, I had blacked out, I had passed out, and you know, they had to get me back together. But when I came back around, of course, they told me again because I'm like, what happened? So they told me again that I had passed out or whatever, and they told me my sister had died. So right in there, I was just crying, hurt. screaming, didn't know what to do. And I was just, what could you do when you heard your sister had been shot? You out somewhere at a basketball game by yourself. You don't know what to do. So I was just crying. Headed back to the bus. I look at my phone and I see I had over 100 missed calls and about 20 to 30 voicemails. I didn't check them because I didn't want to hear any more bad news. I just heard my sister had died. Prior to that, I heard she had been shot. Went all day. Didn't get to talk to her in between time. None of that. So I'm on the bus, headed back home. I get home. My mother is at the school to pick me up, and I just run to her, and I was just crying. She was just holding me, and I'm just crying because I was hurt. My sister had just died. I didn't get a chance to tell her that I love her. I didn't get a chance to apologize for my arguments that we had a couple of days before, or none of that. So on this day, it was just like my whole life had just was crushed. It was just like I didn't know what to do. So what I want to say to you all is make sure you tell your family and friends that you love them and you know you appreciate them and everything because they could be here today, gone tomorrow. You could be here today, gone tomorrow. But yeah, I just want to thank you all for listening and giving me the opportunity to tell my story and what my day consisted of. You know, thank you.